So we'll activate this. We'll bring back Delney for the 4th time I've played her this game. You gain life triggers, so they'll take 4 here. Oh yeah, we're cooking now. Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing Life Gain Combo. This is also an Orzhov deck, but we are going to be primarily trying to gain life and beat out the aggro decks while also pushing towards a combo or just using pieces of that combo for value to just kind of push out games that we need to push out very quickly. So to go over things in the deck before we get to the combo, because it's going to take quite the bit of explaining in general, so I'll move it a little bit to the side here. Maybe you already know the combo, but other than that, we have Case of the Uneaten Feast. Basically, a creature enters the battlefield. We gain life. If we gain five, we can sacrifice this, start casting stuff from our graveyard. Ruin-Lurker Bat is just a value creature, a life linker. If we kind of descend, we get to scry, so that's pretty good. Essence Chandler can get out of control, and every time we gain life, it just gets bigger. Deep-Cavern Bat to protect the combo. Amalia as a one-of, just if we get it in play or we use a Dirge to go fetch it up and we have a lot of life gain. This can rip a lot of lands off the top, kind of ensuring that we are hitting good cards. Get Lost is in here as a removal spell, obviously, but mainly this is also a answer for temporary lockdown, as a lot of our combo does reside at 2 mana. And if our opponent locks us down, a lot of times we can remove that lockdown and actually just win off our ETBs alone sometimes. But other than that, we have the Darkstar Augur here to get us cards. We have Gumdrop Poisoner as removal, as a life gain deck will often have. A Zoraline as a overall value piece in our deck that can help push the game and win with just this card alone, in terms of bringing back Gumdrop Poisoners to remove things or just attacking with bats and getting value. And now on to the combo, which I'm going to explain pretty quickly. I know combos, we should probably explain them a bit more, but on screen now you'll start seeing the combo happen. But basically what happens is Delney says, if an ability of a creature we control with power 2 or less triggers, it happens in additional time. That counts Lifecreed Duo. So Lifecreed Duo, put simply, whenever a creature enters, instead of gaining 1 life, 2 different gain life triggers go on the stack, which matters a lot. And then the Starscape Cleric, the offspring ability of this card actually also works with Delney. So when we put it into play and pay the offspring cost, instead of making 1 extra creature, it'll actually make 2, causing 3 creatures to enter the battlefield, which will gain 6 life off the Lifecreed Duo. And then each one will then ping, instead of 1 time per life gained, it'll actually ping 2 times per life gain, as you obviously have seen, or if the clip's already over and we're kind of talking here still. But as you'll see on screen, then it gets exponentially crazy and does all the way up to 32 damage if you are just doing this kind of combo together. So the ideal curve for that is playing like a duo on 2 if we can. Weirdly enough, playing Delney on 4 and then a Cleric on 5. And the reason why is because we kind of want to bait out removal with like a Zoraline or something on 3 and make sure that our Delney is protected. Or if we sometimes have to, we can play Delney first and then try to bring it back with a Zoraline, which is another awesome value card there. And then play the Cleric on 5 for the offspring, because then it kind of one-shot kills our opponent from there. So outside of that, we're just going to go ahead and hop in the games. I don't know why my webcam's so dark. I just realized that. It's definitely not that dark throughout the video, but it's dark right now. But with that said, it's late anyway. I'm not going to fix it. So we're just going to go ahead and hop in the games. If y'all enjoy it, I hope y'all consider subscribing. Truly helps out the channel a ton. And let's hop out there and see if we can't get this combo deck to win. All right, we go first. I mean, we got pieces of the puzzle. That's fine. Play the courtyard. Then maybe play this guy on the following turn. Like weird. We might play Chandler and then probably play Cosmos if I get the option. Because like we don't mind playing this a little bit later to kind of work towards the combo. Aguirre going to be a little tough. Alright, now I'll play Chandler. Could be Aguirre, could be Abzan, could be combo, could be Nombo. We'll find out here in a second. Virtue, sure. Fine. With that said, I'll play Case and I'll play another one of these. Going for it, you know. That counter, go up. That's a 3-2, and then I can play Zoraline. This would be sick. If I hit another land, I'm gonna opt to kind of wait again. Cut down, sure. They miss a land drop. Look at them go, dude. Opt for this guy. Sure. You have another removal spell, most likely. Their hand was just 2 lands and all the removal in the world, I suppose. 3 lands. Now, Liliana. Ooh.
No more distractions.
You go. I suppose.
Sacrifices must be made.
I suppose. Can't kick that. Can't really do much with anything I got going on. I guess I play this. Play this thing. Gain, drain, do some nonsense maybe. Bat's getting beat up by a bird. This bat can't even block, but figuring it out. I don't really know. Pillage, okay. I mean, Pillage kind of tells us for sure that they're the combo deck. It's just a Terrace under for the case. So that makes sense. But what do we got, Chief? Nothing. Okay. I will play Mirrex. I'll move to combat. Alright, it's here. Just go here. Sure. Take a token. Drain, do some nonsense. I could have sent that at Lily too, but if they minus, I'll sack my token. Their whole hand has just been removal after removal after removal, which is really good that they played against us. At least for them, it is. Now Liliana's just hurting them alone. Amalia's pretty good. I'll gain a couple life points here. Get lost seems fine. At least does it seem fine? I'm not entirely sure. Because next turn I'm just gonna have to use it. Sure, I guess. Place land. Come back a Lily. So Lily dies if they minus.
Now you've got my attention.
But now I can get lost and then activate Mirrex. Deep-Cavern Bat. Well, that doesn't do enough. Keeper's Talent, sure. Put a counter on Deep-Cavern Bat, I imagine. So now I can then trade off my Lifecreed Duo. Fine. Sure. The only problem with this is that, sure, they might blow up my case. They might draw a card. Might be a couple of things they do. But the thing is, now Amalia gets to attack down to Lily. Which... yeah, interesting. Let's see if they want to keep Lily or not. Here. Again, we know our top card. We don't really care. They let Lily go, so now I just don't even budge, I think.
Luck favors the foolish, after all.
Yeah, I think I just wait. They have 1 card in hand. 2 cards now. Pump here. I can pay that word cost. Play land. They go for a second pump. Pop this out of the way. Now we took their entire turn on that. I will block the 3/3, I guess, with my duo. Sure. Yeah, they're a little afraid of my creatures getting in, I guess. That makes sense. That land. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Can Gumdrop Poisoner get it here? So, no, right? So I can play this thing, which I'm going to activate it most likely here. So I'll play here. So enter, I'll gain a life. I will Gumdrop Poisoner can kill the Deep-Cavern Bat, right? It sure can. So we'll gain the life first, but we'll target this. Now life will be gained. Now that happens. Wait, oh no, the life happened the opposite way. No! I hate this game sometimes, the way it targets. Like, of course I could have done something about that, but I'm just like a little annoyed that that's the way that worked. But whatever, is what it is. I meant for the Deep-Cavern Bat to get suplexed. Now Zoraline's a problem for my opponent. The Cleric's here. Zoraline has to go if they have removal. It's just too strong in general. They could activate a map on Deep-Cavern Bat, see if I trade, I guess. If Glissa goes to combat, I'm blocking with the Poisoner. There's Veraska. Now Glissa's just like can't go to combat. Sure. I have a bat. A bat effect. A bat artifact. Which is interesting. So let us go ahead. Tap this. We're gonna offspring this thing. I'll worry about that later. I'll take 2 here. Duo can go in the yard. They said they've had enough. Okay. Very cool. I suppose, I guess. Forest control. Temporary lockdown. Okay. Well, I know what they got a copy of. What? Plains. I can play a swamp, and then I can cycle the Poisoner and play a bat. Sure. Definitely want to do the value though. Pass. We'll Poisoner some other time. Got removal for my Ruin-Lurker Bat. Oh, they're crazy. Look at them. They're insane. They don't know what they're doing. They see creature, they take out creature. They don't care. Player or Brass Forge. No? Oh, now I feel like I'm cheating. I didn't do an Urbrass Forge. I know that's how this works. I'm willing to take a turn off to set this case into play, by the way. Case seemed good. Makes like Gumdrop Poisoner pretty cool. They didn't play the enchantment or play the other thing, which is absurd. But this just tells me they have like helixes and stuff, so that do kind of suck. Play Delney, I guess. We'll be able to activate these cases next turn because I'll gain 2 life here, but next turn I can play a cave and then crack the food and then play like the Poisoner, which will then turn the cases on. So as long as we ever get the combo actively in our graveyards, it's not exiled with torches. Feel pretty good. Also, temporary lockdown can ruin this whole game's vibe, but they were missing a land, so they threw the temporary lockdown away. Amalia's sick here. I do land, I sacrifice food. Especially with temporary lockdowns, I should go ahead and do this life gain anyway. Get it out of the way. We'll play Amalia. Amalia will enter. This will be life number 4 and 5. Land draw. Mirrex pretty good. Concealed Courtyard is fine. Now these are unlocked, but I keep getting hit with torch, so it doesn't really feel like it matters. Amalia can get swooped up under a lockdown, which they find as well now that I activated my cases. But I'll let it happen. We do play Get Lost, so eventually we might be able to pump this temporary lockdown. We're not that opposed to it. I'll play Mirrex. I'll play Delney number 2. Hope they don't have another torch. Now Deep-Cavern Bat, hoping to rip her hand apart. Do you have 3rd torch? You do, don't you? Oh my god, bro. Yeah, my bad, man. Why keep a reasonable hand? Oh, yeah, sure. Why not? What are we playing, dude? Holy. Give me Visa. Not doing this game, bro. I look at their hand that they kept and then drew into. They had 3 torches. Eventually, they have 2 lightning helixes. They have a temporary lockdown. Like, what are we doing? What, in fact, are we doing? Let's just keep making them use their spells. They're gun happy on them anyway, so maybe they'll continue to be so. Offspring. Sure. There's Biza. They'll get a lot of modes on it. Not that opposed. I don't really have a way to gain life here, so do I hold the Delney or what? Now, I could bring up the fortress, attack, gain 2 life. But then I don't gain a 3rd. I guess Delney. But then I can't attack. They have a helix and get lost. I don't have a Delney under there. No real way to gain life, so I guess it's just ball, I suppose. Absurd. I guess I can activate Mirrex, so I'll just play Gumdrop Poisoner. There's 0 value here, so I'll just do that. And then maybe they'll use a spell so they can keep attacking me. If not, Gumdrop Poisoner will block a 1/1 and then gain or make them lose life. No surprise here with the Restless Fortress coming in. Sure. This is definitely a situation where you don't attack with it. Yeah, that's fine. No. We might find a case or something a little bit more valuable that we want to have. Especially attacking with this just makes more sense now. I'll make my little token. Get lost. Okay. Holy man, my opponent could be dead. I have no idea. Well, is it better to Delney first and then do that? I guess so, because it's gonna trigger it like crazy. Then I get to attack and gain more life. Yeah, we'll go that route. Sure. Here's Delney. If you have another torch, I swear I'm losing my mind. I guess they have a treasure, right? Where did this treasure come? Oh, because I had more mana than them. Oh, dude. I forgot they got a treasure because I had more mana. I've like never activated that mode of Biza. Sure. You have a cool card on top. Now they could sunfall me, but they've been missing lands. They could find a sunfall, but if not, Zoraline. Oh, it's not sunfall. Don't you dare. You don't want temporary lockdown me. You don't mean that. All right, Caretaker's Town's good. I can't believe I just like blanked on their treasure, but I've played this card so often that I never get the treasure part activated. So I'm only... Oh, that's ambitious. You know what's on top, my guy. Alright, well. So they're not, like, dead. But I got a lot of damage. Nah. They might be dead. I have no idea, to be honest. Actually, I think they are dead. Wait. Yeah, I think they're dead. Because of these being bats, I think they'll die here. So this will trigger. These life gain triggers are happening after. So we'll activate this. We'll bring back Delney for the 4th time I've played her this game. To gain life triggers. So they'll take 4 here. Oh yeah. We're cooking now. Actually, they're super dead. It's not close. Yeah, combat. And they'll die to the attack trigger. His 2 bats attack, dealing 8 more damage. That's absurd. Okay. Cool. Sick. Wanna goes first? Sure. I mean, we have stuff. They have discard. Oh, it's a fairy thief. Sick. I actually kind of enjoy this card. Yes, they're blue-black fairies. I'm gonna regret saying that later, but this deck got suplexed. Like nobody plays it. It was kind of cool. They most likely have the counter spell here, so this will be a little bit troublesome. I can force him to counter this, I guess. Actually, I'm gonna play Duo. I think we saw from last game that we're perfectly fine if like Delney and stuff happens. It could have the black spell that does an additional damage. Ooh. Very mastermind. Do I just block that? Whenever you attack one more, put one more counter on it? Sure. You should be able to out life gain this matchup, but now with Delney here, Delney's going to cause some issues for the life gain. No blocks. Well, we should be able to outgain this in theory, but who knows? I could play this, but again, I think... Huh. Yes, because if they removed the Chandler, then I get to move the counters elsewhere, so I think I like this actually more. Gain 2, plus I make like a massive creature here in general. And then we play this. And now it grows up to be like a 6/5. Just like that is huge. And now if they get lost it or something, like the counters still move. Even if it's -X, the counters still move. So they attack, they're digging, they double attack. Okay. Dangerous. Honestly, I could double block the mastermind, and I just might. But with this and cut down possibilities, maybe I shouldn't block. Maybe I like to use the Ruin-Lurker Bat as kind of like a combat thread here. I don't know. But my opponent's playing a cool deck. I'm riding with it. Although I guess the only issue with their deck is like it's kind of like all older cards, I suppose. I'll take 4. Go down to 17. One of the hard parts about playing like a creature combat matters deck is when you're against lifelink like this. Or life gain like this, it gets a little bit weird. Land. Screw it. I'll barrel in Delney. Alright. I would like to swing this one. And these are unblockable. Throw a block and then they'll cycle the Fairy Dream Thief, of course. Then I'll gain life. Put a counter. Now, it's too large to trigger Delney, which is weird. But now they cycle, they lose 1 life. They go to 16. Now they have 2 creatures. They play another land. But they haven't had counterspell yet. They attack. Is this a desperation attack? Or they have their board wipe? They could, I guess. No. I'll just make them have the board wipe. I could see them having it. Oh, I guess that's a way that can happen. This one. Yeah. I actually don't mind that board wipe. And all that's gone. Sure. I can't kick this. So I guess for me, it's just play this guy. Have like a good creature that I can get in play. And then opt to go for the Duo plus the Cleric. Although I guess I can bring Delney back too, huh? Oh, there's a Season of the Lost. That's not good. I have no idea what's going on anymore. Alright, they played the Prankster, sure. Yeah. I mean, it's gotta be Delney, right? Oh, I do that one, okay. Interesting. They're gonna be really upset that they find out that I drew this one. Here. Bada bing, bada boom. Attack. Pay this cost. Now I understand they're gonna make me sacrifice everything, which sucks. Force them to figure it out. They now have Delney in hand, so they block, and now I'm gonna get hit with this. Oh yeah, I would say if you're gonna use that second mode, you better just hold off on it. Sure. This one. This one. This one. Getting hit with 2 of those, pretty tough. Probably like the only 2 of those that they play. And I also haven't been able to trigger this case. Maybe I should have focused last turn to see if I couldn't activate the case. I don't know if I could have. It's always weird without like a Delney doubling up in our deck. It's your last spell, removal spell. It'll be so tragic if it is. I think they should cycle this if they get the opportunity to. Delney can't be blocked here though. You know that. Kind of cool. I bet. This one. This one. Guess what also can't be blocked, chat? Guess what also triggers twice from combat attack? Hopefully they don't find removal. Alright. Oh, they found removal. Prankster's coming up huge for him. That's insane. They found a Season of the Lost. If only the ego drain there. All right, man, my bad. I see it. Now they gotta kind of decide whether they're gonna remove Delney or the fortress. Doesn't really matter. Delney's still unblockable. They can pay for this. Tap, sure. Tap again. Maybe attack with it. Sure. They're gonna try to go to close the game. And -3 and roll a fairy when as you cast it. They have -3/-3, but they can also kick it up to get my fortress dead. Just word Q. Got food. Cracked food. I bet. Unblockable, I think. Or yeah, it's power 2 or less can't be blocked. Oh, it's power. Oh, I read that wrong. Then we cast Gumdrop, which is a gain 3 here. Doesn't have 2 kicks. Like this is power 3, so Delney won't do anything. Like I won't get to shoot down both their creatures, but. I'm gonna get rid of the Fairy Mastermind. And I still don't get my case activated here. And without the 1-drop that gains life for creatures entering that we used to play, it's so hard to get these cases turned on sometimes. Just because we can't get the life gain. Now they get to attack because of vigilance and the way that the curse fairy works. But they also have this. So I'm gonna go to combat here. We double attack. Gumdrop Poisoner looks like the answer, of course. Yeah, that's what they go for. That's fine. Now, of course, I'll go to combat and attack. Sure. Hit. Make a food token. Cast this thing. At some point, they'll find the counter spell. I know they will. So we'll gain the life first. I'll target here. Gain life. And then it'll go up to 1, removing the Picklock Prankster. And then I can always gain 3 life whenever I need it. But I really need it to happen when a Gumdrop Poisoner hits. So I can maybe bring back creatures from my yard. Liliana the Veil. Fairies bro.
Those who get in my way tend to
Dolls. Delaney's gotta go.
Off you
Again, with the
go.
case, we're kind of sitting in this awkward spot. Sure. My turn. Land's pretty good. See if we can hit our opponent. Attempt to hit my opponent. Oh, they let me. Maybe? Ooh, they do. Interesting. Now we crack this food. We're getting the life. Now our case will be solved for our next rotation of the turn. Which means we can play like... Oh, well, I guess I don't really have a ton of ways to gain life on the ETB without the case. Nick and Seed, okay. Cool. They play another Sleep Curse Fairy. I would assume that means the rest of their hand was not that good. I would have to, like, partake. Alright. Forest aggro. Taking their sweet time to decide to keep their hand. Is anybody surprised? I absolutely think not. Now I'm in a weird spot where I'm gonna go ahead and play this down. I could have waited and I guess played down on turn 3 after I case in Deep-Cavern Bat, but most likely I'm gonna have to be looking to use this Get Lost. Here goes Fish. Invasion. Sure, you're gonna hit the invasion? A lot of times they start directing damage and invasion, which is like, sure, that saves me life. Alright. Sure, man, I don't know. Huh. Now it feels weird, because if I'd had the case down, I could play this and grow it. I guess I just played Deep-Cavern Bat? Yeah. We'll see. Lightning Helix is ×2. Sure. But now I can helix my bat, Swift Spear, equip that thing, smack that boy. Or they can do the opposite where they just helix that and then put the splitter on the Swift Spear and then suplex my forehead. Or they can lightning helix. Or they rip shock because they're the best to ever do it. I don't know. Oh, you lightning helix. Because realistically, they just got some burn that we got to deal with. And they're going to take the other 3 damage to flip this goof boy. And then I'm going to get lost it, I guess. Deep-Cavern Bat's fine, but on the following turn, I'll play here. And by on a following turn, not too far in the future. This is going to have to be used to take out the Swift Spear on a turn. I don't know. I just then got Flash. Because they can go to combat and try to attack with Thunder Maul and then do everything. I'm taking, what, 3, 7, 8. That's a weird way to do my math. Oh, well, now they have to choose. We are in combat, so I'm getting rid of this. But now if they helix me, I take 3. Yes, I take 7, so half my life total. I hope they use the sword. Kind of. Like, I don't really want them to use the sword because that sucks, right? But, like, kind of need them to use the sword because that's what it has to be. 2 toughness, right? Activate on the other one. 3 toughness. My bad. Can I even survive here? I can. It's just not easy. 3, 4, 5, maybe 6. I have to Deep-Cavern Bat take their lightning helix. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Here, take their helix, so I know I'm like solid, I guess. Right? Because I know the only draw they have is this. So I could also just play this. And then if I block with it, I can just put the counters on Deep-Cavern Bat, which is so strong. And then I can make combat damage with the Deep-Cavern Bat. And then the Gumdrop Poisoner does a ton. I should have decked then, by the way. Or like use my Fabled Passage here. What are you going to show? Because using this basically accepts that they're turning their... They're not doing anything this turn. If they activate this map. But knowing mono red, this map will then hit a land. And then they'll be able to play the Godric anyway. Oh yeah, just click everything. You got it. Highlight it all. Yeah. Alright. Okay, well, one of these can get flying and become impossible to deal with. And has 3 toughness. So the opposite way is way easier to deal with it. So we do this. Put a counter on our Deep-Cavern Bat, of course. Now it's a bit bigger. Zoraline's pretty sick. I can basically gain 3 life here, but I could just also remove a creature. But let us do what? So I'll gain 2. Yeah. Alright, we're good. I'll go fetch. We'll go grab a swamp here. Although... Nah, I gotta do it the opposite way. I'm trolling if I do it that way. Make a food token. Combat first, Brick. Please relax. We hit for 2. We go up to 7. We play Poisoner. We'll gain life first. So I'll target the bigger creature of the 2 in terms of toughness. And now, like, idealistically, this has a chance to trade off the Swiss Spear. Especially if this is a dead card. Monster trades on top. That's not good. That's not good. Remember when they... Oh, what? Wow. Then I have Zoraline. I have a bat plus a 3/2 lifelinker. This has to block, which might punish my opponent even more. Yeah, my guy. Zoraline. I'll pay that. I'll put in Chandler. That's fine with me. Make it larger. Attack for 2. Gain life. Make it thing huge. And now they're just not going to be able to do anything ever. Very sick. Taking down red. The way it should be with this deck. I'm sick of playing decks that I'm like, I should have a good red matchup, and then I get slammed. Because they have some absurd hand on the play. But sweet. Sweet, sweet. Alright, so here we are. We're in the outro. We played some games. We end up getting a list together that kind of ran hot there for a second at least. I think we ended up going 4-0 once we settled on this. I had a lot of different things in. I had a lot more top in. I had a lot more removal at one point, and it just didn't feel that great playing it like that. So I just opted to go all in on kind of creatures and the top end card being Virtue. If we ever get there or whatever, we do play 24 lands. So it is possible. And if we do have an Amalia going pretty aggressively, we could hit a lot of lands. So we could just end up curving out. And with this many creatures in our deck, playing Virtue just totally makes way more sense than having a lot of other removal in the format in our deck. But outside of that, I mean, it performed well. We actually got to see the combo happen a bit, but we also got to see kind of that value that we talk about from these Orzhov decks playing Zoraline, that this card just kind of helps backpack this deck a little bit and helps guide us to those wins. Whereas the combo is obviously super cool, and it is a little bit like tic-tacky kind of thing where like, oh, it's kind of cute, but again, this deck can pull out games against some aggro decks and things like that when it absolutely has to, and Zoraline is kind of one of the main reasons for that, because again, I just love this card. I think this card's really strong, and these cards kind of work well in tandem with it. Even if Delney wasn't in here and just these were in here, they also work incredibly well with Zoraline, because if I play this into this and then I play this after, maybe I kick it after, just attacking with these two alone would gain 2 life off Zoraline's ability, And if I have this offspring, they're also taking an additional 4 plus the 4 that they would take in the air. So just that alone is 8 damage. So it helps gain a lot of that extra life that we need. And Essence Chandler being able to grow exponentially with that, or like Deep-Cavern Bat. But I do like the Deep-Cavern Bat does become a lot more threatening whenever Delney's there. Now there's awkward ones where it's like, ah, man, I really have to take this card, but I have to take the removal, or they just kill my bat right now. Well, now the bat's going to target twice and take 2 things. So if they mess up and allow you to target the first time, you take the removal and then you take the good card. But it does obviously put a lot more weight on this Deep-Cavern Bat, which then kind of implies that our Zoraline or other spells will kind of stick around, because this is obviously a way more tempting target at that point. But with that said, I hope you all enjoyed the video. It was a fun one. Do I think you should build this over like the other Orzhov deck we played? No. It's just kind of fun. If you have it, great. I mean, Delney's are mythics, so I wouldn't recommend crafting them. Most of the rest of the deck you probably have. Maybe you don't have these, but these aren't like a requirement in this deck. These ones are common and uncommon, so these should be pretty easy. You can obviously do some amount of Amalias with Essence Chandler. Didn't have this card come up, but it's also an uncommon. So realistically, cases are obviously a little bit tough as well. But if you're playing Orzhov in general, you'll probably have the virtues already ready to go. You should probably have these ones if you're playing Orzhov kind of decks. Gumdrop Poisoner obviously is kind of a tough craft too, but maybe we have these from opening the new set. So try it. Don't slam it and build it without really just like either having loose rares to craft or mythics to craft stuff, and you're just like, I want to try to make it work. I wouldn't take this deck list obviously as gospel, but it is what it is. So I hope you all enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.